Hey, what is up, guys? Mr. Bear 38 here, and today I'm bringing you my review of Obi Wan Kenobi Episode 5. And oh my god! So, straight off the bat, we get a flashback cutscene between Obi Wan from Episode 2 and Anakin from Episode 2 fighting in the training room. And oh, it just blew my mind. It looked so beautiful. I was so goddamn happy seeing it. I've been waiting so long to see this, like just for flashbacks. I wanted to see more of Hayden Christensen, and now we have it. I am just beyond excited. Then straight after that scene, we move straight over to Darth Vader talking to Reva. She got promoted to Grand Inquisitor due to being able to track Obi-Wan, and he landed back on the planet where Obi-Wan and the remaining civilians are hiding, and Vader says it would take days to have a siege. And he's like, we're not going to have days. We're just going to go down. You're going to invade. That's it. You're just going to break through everything. And then we see the fake Jedi from Episode 2 is down there because after the incident with Reva, he ended up with becoming most wanted due to helping a Jedi. So he's now a fugitive like everyone else, which I admit I was kind of happy that happened because I liked his character. And then we get to the part where they're talking about he needs to get the civilians all out because there's only a trade route open for a certain amount of hours. And then Obi-Wan kicks in of saying that I need to, help these people, like how Obi-Wan used to be in the Clone Wars. He never wanted to leave anyone behind. And then we move over to Darth Vader going through space saying we're about to land. And then they start taking ships out, once they reach the planet, Vader wants the whole building lockdown, the whole facility lockdown. So I thought Lola just had a tracking device in her. I didn't realize the droid itself was actually hacked. So they send the droid into the ventilation shaft to close the doors. So they have to hotwire it to get it open. Then Obi-Wan senses the Empire's there, and they say there's an Imperial Star Destroyer just waiting for him above the planet. Then we get another cutscene of Anakin and Obi-Wan training, and Anakin is very, 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 very aggressive when fighting, extremely aggressive. It is insane. I didn't realize he was that aggressive in Episode 2. Then we move back to Vader inside of his ship, looking at him saying, send out the troops, and they send out 2 ships full of stormtroopers and some purge troopers. I will never ever get sick of seeing these purge troopers. I love purge troopers to death. Then we go back to Obi-Wan knowing that they're coming down, getting ready because they know Obi-Wan's like, they want me. They're doing this to get to me. And he's talking about how long will it take to get the door open. The guy says 3 to 4 hours. And he's like, you got an hour. And then they can't figure it out at all. They're struggling. They don't know what to do. People are panicking. Obi-Wan gives one of his old speeches in the Clone Wars saying that there's no way in hell you guys are going to beat the Empire. We're not going to. The best thing you can do is hold them off and try to get out. And then the Stormtroopers end up landing on the planet with the Purge Troopers. They're fully blocked up, fully lined up, all in an order, single file lines and all that stuff. Then they get out a cannon, which they're getting ready to blast the door down. Then Reva's ship ends up showing up. I thought Darth Vader was going to be on it, but no, it's just Reva during this part. Then she starts telling them to open fire on the door, and they just start shooting it more and more and more. Then they start hearing it and saying that they tried to hotwire the door, but it didn't work. Then Leia goes up into the vent saying that she can do it. She believes she can do it. Then Obi-Wan gets a message from Bail Organa talking about he hasn't heard from Obi-Wan in a while, and they strictly had no contact and all of this stuff because of obviously Leia's importance, so they didn't want to talk. Then he's just mightily concerned about where Obi-Wan is. And then he talks to Tala about the amount of troopers she's killed, and she's like, I know you can't forget about your past and all this stuff. And I think it just helps him, pushes him along a little bit. And they talk about the stormtroopers at the front door getting ready. They're shooting at the door, blowing it up. And then Obi-Wan talks about he'll go talk to Reva, puts his hand up to the door, and she starts talking, and he starts... and then he's like, how do you know Darth Vader's Anakin? You're too young. And then he's like, you were there during Order 66, weren't you? And that's when we find out she was the youngling in the beginning, and you see more flashbacks of Anakin walking through the Jedi Temple, doing Order 66 and killing them, and she couldn't do anything to save her friends because he was Anakin. And she said she played dead because there was nothing else she could do. And then she talks about how Obi-Wan because she wants to. All of this is just to take down Vader. She wants to take down Vader. That is all it is. She wants to take him out and just wipe him out. And Obi-Wan says he'll help. And then she says, do you want to actually kill Anakin with me? And obviously Obi-Wan doesn't want to kill Anakin. He wants to redeem Anakin, because he knows Anakin's just broken and everything. And then she talks about how, why would I want you for help? You weren't there to help me during Order 66 and all this stuff. We get over to them. They finally open the door. They start a blast. She cuts the door open. Obi-Wan whips out his lightsaber and they all start defending each other. Everyone's being shot. There's so much going down. Stormtroopers miss as they always do. Sucking. Obi-Wan absolutely fucks up a purge trooper. It was awesome seeing that. Then the fake Jedi's telling Leia to hurry up because they need to get through. Then they're still running through, trying to escape, getting the back way. Obi-Wan's still in the middle of fighting them all. The loader Tala gets shot in the stomach. Falls to the ground. Obi-Wan's obviously trying to get back to Saber. The loader droid's getting absolutely annihilated as well. It was pretty sad watching these two die. I didn't like watching the loader droid die. I was very sad watching him die. And then she hits a thermal detonator, goes to blow herself up with the loader droid, shoots the door panel to stop Obi-Wan from coming in. And then we have Darth Vader telling Reva to stop attacking and stand down because Obi-Wan will just do nothing. Then we get another flashback of them two fighting in the chambers, where he says to Obi-Wan, admit you were beaten. And then we go back to Obi-Wan inside the thing, telling Hajar he's got to look after Leia. It's her responsibility now, because he hands himself over to the stormtroopers. And then goes to... And then we move back to Leia, who's trying to get through the wires still, struggling a little bit. And then Lola hands himself over to Reva saying, I know what you want to kill Vader and all this stuff, I can help you. Little does she know he's like putting him into a trap, and then ends up walking, stormtroopers take him back, and then he ends up escaping from the stormtroopers and running back to the ship. We get the part where Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting again, and Anakin's extremely aggressive again, ends up beating Obi-Wan, knocking his lightsaber out of his hand, like just full on hitting it and smacking it out. Then we get back to Reva talking to Vader, saying that he's secured inside. Then we have Vader walking through the hallway while Obi-Wan's running off, finally escaping. Leia takes off the restraining bolt off Lola and gets her out, and Lola and her end up unlocking the door. Vader starts walking through the hallway, sees the dead stormtroopers, starts walking extremely fast towards them. Then we get to the civilians. Leia just opened the door successfully. Hajar drops the communicator, which, that's really bad. Then we get to like the best part of all. Vader's just forcing down this ship with his bare force. Like, this man, if he was like fully, like, had all of his body parts, it would be insane. And he just starts ripping the ship apart. Realizes there's no one in there. The second ship takes off, and he realizes that he just let Obi-Wan get away again. Then we get back to Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting again, and Obi-Wan just forces the lightsaber out of Anakin's hand and beats him. Then we move straight back to Vader again, where Reva is, and Reva tries to fight Vader, but it doesn't. And then Vader just uses the Force, saying, I knew Obi-Wan was going to do this, using her against him. And she just keeps swinging at him, missing all the shots. He's just toying with her, and then grabs her Inquisitor blades, just snaps them in, like, pulls them apart, uses them to fight her, forces her around some more, grabs both the lightsabers, throws one at her so they do a fair fight. Obviously we all know how this turns out because it's, you know, it's Darth Vader. He ends up taking the lightsaber out of her hand, beating her and then stabbing her, and then she gets flashbacks of Anakin walking through the Jedi Temple, killing everyone, and then she visions herself getting stabbed by Anakin as a youngling, and then she dies. Well, she doesn't die. And then the Grand Inquisitor walks in, which I'm happy for because we all know he wasn't dead. If he was dead, it would have made the whole Clone Wars series fake, and I would have been so mad. But I'm glad he's back, and then says, see where you are, back in the gutter, basically where you belong. Then her and Vader walk off. Then we move back to the colony ship where they're all getting out. Obi-Wan feels a disturbance in the Force due to Reva still being alive. And she finds the hologram that Bail sent her. And she learns about Luke Skywalker and Leia, about how they're Force sensitive and all this stuff. And then it ends with zooming in on Tatooine. And then it ends zooming in on Luke. And then we have to wait for the next episode. But that is it, guys. And this episode was, it was so good. I loved it. I loved every part of it. It felt like a fan service too, like pulling down the ship like Starkiller did. I loved it all. But that is it for me, guys. I give this episode a 9 out of 10. On it, no, honestly, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. I loved it. I loved it so much. And I can't wait for the last episode to see what it has in store for us. But until then, guys, peace. And I will see you in the next one.